Yes, Mr. Rahman.
Fatimid came to Egypt in 969 AD.
Yeah.
Fatimid was following the Shia sect or Shia cult.
Yeah.
Okay, Shia sect or Shia cult. And this is one, it was different from Cairo or from Egypt. The Egyptian at that time was believed in Sunnah cult. So there is a difference in the sect or the cult of Islamic religions. So Fatimid was Shia, the Egyptian was Sunni. So Fatimid, when they came to Egypt in 969 AD, first thing they did, they founded the old Cairo. Over there, by their minister Gawhar al-Sakali, he founded this area around 1 kilometers squares. Then he erected 2 palaces inside this one for the king or Khalifa al-Azz al-Din al-Fatimi, and the second one for his devotee or his successor al-Mu'izz al-Aziz li-Din Allah. And after this one, he built most important Al-Azhar Mosque. So
This is the mosque.
Al-Azhar Mosque has been taken 3 years to build this one.
Yeah.
It was very important to build this mosque because this one is following the Shia cult.
Yeah.
And when they came to Egypt, all mosque over here, it was Sunnah cult. So they must make flourishing or spreading their cult through Egypt at that time. So it started to have a center to study, to give a study for all the Shia cult, to become famous between the Egyptians. So they gave all attention for this mosque. So this mosque since 1,000 years ago. But at the end of that time, the Fatimids tried to give here more attention and make many of good things to Egyptians to accept him as a Muslim people. No, the Egyptian did not show them respect and love. And the Egyptian looked to them as a conquest because they has a different cult. Okay, for this reason, the Fatimid tried to make many of good things to Egyptians, except to get their love or win their heart. But they did not succeed in this one. And always the Egyptian looked to them as a conquest. So at the end of this Fatimid period, it was a chaos period, and the Fatimid was controlled by a ministers, not by the Khalifa Fatimid, because he became very weak. Maybe at that time was a child, the Khalifa al-Adil. He guardian was 2 ministers. The first one minister, his name Shawar, and second one Dirgham. And both of them was trying to have an upper hand to control Egypt. So that made him to enter in a clash both together. So at that clash, the minister Dirgham asking for help from the Christians to come over here, and the Shawar, a good man or the right man, he asked for help of Salah ad-Din. At that time, Salah ad-Din came to over here, and when he reached to Egypt, he get rid from all Fatimid and all the 2 ministers and plus the Christians also, and declared himself as the king of Egypt and the founder of Ayyubid dynasty. This it was 1171, and after this one, 6 years later, he ordered to build the citadels and the founder Ayyubid dynasty. Okay, and at that time, Salah ad-Din Ayyubi, he gave order to close the Al-Azhar Mosque because this is the center for flourishing, was the center for the Shia cult. He closed for 80 years, and they moved the congregational prayer from this mosque, moved to Al-Hakim Mosque in Al-Mu'izz Street, and has been opened again to the prayer for the common congregational prayers at a time of Az-Zahir papers in Mamluk period. Okay, so it was a story for Fatimid and up till end and beginning and the end. Okay, now we are now we are in el-Khalili Bazaar. Let us go inside to have a look and sit in Al-Fishawi Cafe, the famous one since 200 years ago, because it is a sign for the ancient, for the Egyptian artists, especially it is a sign of Naguib Mahfouz, the famous writers, the owner of the Nobel Prize. Okay, let us go have a look inside and see the daily life of the Egyptian in Islamic Zahir of Cairo. Okay, let's go.
Here at Al-Fisawi, this is one of the must come
You are
destination.
going to see a lot. This is we are now in Al-Fishawi Cafe.
Yeah.
It's a famous place.
Famous cafe, you have to come here. If you come to Egypt, you have to come here, right?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
This Mr. Ahmed is very busy right now.
So, everyone like to visit the Islamic Cairo. The most important thing to come to visit the Al-Fishawi Cafe. It's a famous place, and this was a most favorite place for the Egyptian artists and writers and journalists. And the one of the most famous all over the world. The famous writer Naguib Mahfouz, the one he got the Nobel Prize, and he did maybe 5, 6, or 7 or 10 years ago. But still, this one become famous due to Naguib Mahfouz. Okay. Have a nice time. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed.
This man is trying to make sure, and they say, "Hey, you are not afraid you are making a video beside me." Until I am not do something wrong. I am talking about Egypt and the Egyptian hostel.
Yeah.
You have to be proud by Egyptian hostel.
So this is the first Cairo.
No.
So where is the palace now? It's already they removed the palace. Huh?
After they removed it, Mamluk removed all this building and the replacement by this building. Okay? This 1,280.
1,280
building.
built on 1,280
years
AD.
ago.
800 years old.
Yeah, that's Al-Mansur Kalawo complex. It's a first complex covering between mosque and school, hospital, and the museums.
So this is the first Cairo, you mean to say, where the
It is
city was there.
first building in this kind.
So the common Egyptian was not allowed to come here during that time. Huh?
This is for a royal city.
Royal city.
Yeah, Fatimid royal city.
It's beautiful.
If you like to go inside,
Yeah,
it's just 100.
yeah, we'll go inside.
Gamers on you.
He Sita Divu, after I get recovery, I am gonna to make the same complex and they make hospital in my country. So after he recovered and become in a good health, he be back to Egypt. He found this complex in 2880, which contains from a museum and a mosque, madrasa, and a hospital.
Okay.
And this hospital calling it Bima stand. Bima is the main place stand. It's mean what is called the Iron Man or the patient. Okay, so let us go first to see the Bima the museums. Where he called it inside.
We can take pictures, right?
Yes. Enjoy. Beautiful. Oh, the Muslim in Mamluk period at that time, when they have a tomb, they have to make a dome. The tomb or museum under a dome. And the dome always covering the square area. Okay, you see this dome carry up by 4 pillars. And these 4 pillars carry 8 arches. And these arches a transmission zone, which transfer the square to become octagonal, then become circle, then become a dome. Okay.
So you mean to say the original palace was destroyed?
Yes.
Then
and the replacement zone.
Then they replaced with this one.
Yeah.
So this is the tomb of
Al-Mansur Kalaw.
Al-Masukara. So this is the tomb, yeah?
So this one part from this complex.
Yeah.
There is 3 parts stressed over
So
here.
this
we are
was
going to
built.
see it.
This was built 800 years old.
Yes. And you see the decoration.
Yeah.
And this kind of stained glass.
Yeah.
And this kind of window we are calling by Islam construction and terminology, we're calling this one candelier. like
Chandelier.
this.
So
Have
this
a
the light will
circle
come.
one and two rectangular window decorated by geometric shape and filled by stained glass. When you close the light and when the sun rays inside this area is going to look by like panorama.
Just imagine before, like when there was no building outside.
Yes, yes.
How
of
it
course.
was. Yeah.
Yes. And this is a mihrab, concave. Okay. Why mihrab here? This is area not allowed for prayer. Okay, why he placed the mihrab here?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Because when he buried the body, they must direct the body head in direction of Kaaba or Mecca. So this is the direction.
This is the direction
Because they know
towards,
for anyone who doesn't know, he put the direction of the deceased of the buried body
So his head-
in wrong direction. So the head is directed to mihrab.
Okay.
And this is direction for the holy mosque in Kaaba,
Kaaba.
in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
So to anyone, if say anyone is buried here, anybody under the imperial chamber, so he knows the correct direction through the concave mihrab. Okay. So the function here not for the prayer, the function here for direction of the dead body. The one he buried, he must be placed in the direction of Kaaba through the directions of the concave mihrab. This is the decoration for stained glass and mosaic and a panel of marbles. And the decorated up by a strip of verses of Quran.
This is the hospital, and still it's operating.
دي مارستان مكان العلاج او مكان المريض. على فكره
Basically,
المريض
we are here in Cairo in Al Muhaz Street. So this is also one of the palace or tomb. I must say that because there is one tomb there. This was built like 800 years ago. There was a original palace, and in that original palace was demolished by this particular king, and then he built his own. This one, there is some like Sunni and Shia thing during that time. So now he has his tomb inside. Now there is a during that time he built all Muslim what you call this
small rooms for reception and this is for the music. This a fountain here in this area, making a fountain of waters here. So making a breathing environment to make relaxation for them.
so this
And
this was the
musical
hospital, huh?
orchestra have been sitting over there in this place, and this is it was like a hostel when they live inside the rooms inside this hospital, which we calling Bimaristan. It is Persian expressions consists from two parts. Bima it means the place. Maristan it means the patient, the man he is sick. Okay. See all these rooms, a specialist for different kind of doctors.
So this was the room for doctors.
Yes.
So there was a school,
School, mosque,
mosque,
mausoleums,
mausoleum,
and hospital.
but his residence was not here.
No,
Oh. So he built this after he gets
was
sick.
living in his palace.
Yeah, he built this after he gets
Yes,
sick,
yeah.
and once he visited to Syria,
Yes,
then
and
he come back and he built this
he
one.
recovered over there. Said he said, if I become and recover and be already becoming a good health, I will be back to my home. I'm going to make the same building to make the treatment for my Egyptian people.
Yeah. So basically, the king, once he gets sick during that time, he gets sick, he went to Syria. Then after coming back from Syria, he decided to build this one center for all, like for
Yes.
education purpose, for the health
Because
care.
before that time, most of the Egyptians started this since Ahmad ibn Tulun, around 868 at that time. Ahmad ibn Tulun.
Ahmad Edmad
Ibn Tulun. When he came, he
And
was
you are
first
Mr.
one.
Ahmad also.
He was first one thinking about that. He make a first Bimaristan, but it was a small then. Before this one, they used a doctor move from place to place, like mobile. Move from place, no has a place, a hospital. So he the first one make a complete set. Al-Mansur, Al-Sultan, Al-Mansur Qalawun.
What I like about this place is the thing is like what you said, this is where the Cairo started. Yeah.
This place has been founded now, but it is in Mamluk period.
Yeah.
It has been founded in 1283 But this is place before it served as a first capital of all the Cairo, and it has been founded by Fatimid in 969.
Okay.
And it was the center of Cairo at this time. And after Fatimid dynasty has been collapsed, it started the Ayyubid dynasty. And when Ayyubid they came and occupied and founded Ayyubid dynasty by Salah ad-Din, they do not have enough army. It started to bring warrior Slavs from far of Asia like Kazakhstan and Arabistan, all the people characterized over there by very builders, a big body. So they brought these boys from there as a warrior slaves, and they breeding them like a small or young princess until they grown up and they become like a military leaders. This is where become the Mamluk. They ruled the country for 600 years after Ayyubid. Okay, so Mamluk were very rich peoples, and they give more attention, did not waste their money for anything wrong. They invest and they waste most of money to build the religious building, to memorize their name, like the king of Sultan, like Sultan al-Mansur Qalawun. Okay, he invested their money. They have a lot of money, but invested in a religious purpose.
So, like, if I ask you in a historical way, according to your understanding, because you are Egyptian and you are a tour guide, you have studied that one. So, how significant was his rule during that time? Do you like his rule during that time?
Yes, because it started to be like a first base for the establishments.
So this is what he introduced.
Yes.
Like a hospital, school.
It was first time to see hospital, a separate building for hospital.
Hospital to
Special
treat the
building
people.
for hospital for many specialists.
That was his idea to bring to have a doctor
So later
like in the
they
different
started
chamber.
to have what happened? He have administration group and they have financing and he has doctors and they have supervising and nurses and they have some building. Invest the building, the rent of this building to cover all the financing costs of this hospital.
That's very nice.
So he was not taking money from the patients. It was open for the common Egyptians. Okay? So to become a favorite and to get love of the Egyptian, it was for free. Doesn't pay any money. He have a special business covering the financing and the costing daily life inside the hospital. For medicines, for eating, for catering, for laundry, for changing their clothes, for catering, for treatment, for medicine, everything belonging to hospital.
So this is still there, huh? This one. So this was built like around 800 years old, and this was like functioning hospital during that time, during that era. So according to the tour guide, he said that it is very, they really like this guy, this king, because it was him who introduced like a healthcare education system in Egypt. So there are some like facts. Yeah. This is how they practice during that time. This is for the eyes, surgery. So these are the chambers of the doctor, more than before 800, 900 years old. The chamber of the doctors. Interesting. Here you go.
Every year difference 15 days. For this day. first place of this kind. What do you mean by first place? Here I have a mosque, open courtyard, surrounded by 4 Iwan. 1, 2, 3, 4. The large, we're calling this one Iwan. The large one is directed to Mecca, the holy mosque. So I divided 4 Iwan because the Sunnah doctrine in Egypt is divided for 4 sects: Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanifa, Malik. So Egypt following the Hanifa one. So the Iwan of Hanifa is the largest one, which is decorated by the concave mihrab and the pulpit, okay, and decorated by unique 2 arches. It's the first time to see 2 arches like this one. And there's the other 3 Iwan for the other 3 sects like Shafi'i, Maliki, Abu Malik. Shafi'i, Maliki, Abu Malik. So these 3 were a small followers. So they have a small Iwan, okay? But at the same time, I made here like orphaned house to learn the small people, they left their parents, boy, to live and memorize the Quran to become like a sheikh or high priest. So we can notice this one. This is the hostel where the students will live over there, and where they are coming down to learn. So each imam or each lectures or each teachers have a 10 student, and each 10 student get teaching inside each chapel of this one. Each room contain about 10 students and 1 teacher inside, learning them the instructions of Quran. Okay, inside this.
So this was the like classroom.
Yes, classroom. And
those was like a hostels.
And they come for pollution fountain over here to make a purification. Okay, we get a purification.
And plus you will wash your feet before
pollution
prayer.
over here. You get purification to starting the prayer over here. Okay.
Hasta la yarbi. Entering into the different complex.
At Mamluk time, there was a lot of struggles. And many of revolution and protesting. And every prince have a big army peoples behind him. So everyone woke up early, he pointed himself as a king of Egypt. Okay, so for this reason, the mosque here has been built by a special style. So when you come direct from the main gate, you cannot go direct to the open sahn or the open courtyard of the mosque. You have to take this place because if happen any attack during the people prayers, it will take times
for them
to reach inside. This is give him their time to escape or to hide in other place. We're calling this one dirka. Okay, let's go in here. So when the people come from the horse from here, it will give them a good time to escape inside.
So this was not before these styles.
This is style in Mamluk time.
Also?
Yeah, all this one, Mansur, Qalawun, Al-Zahir, Barqu, all these names, it is Mamluk time, 700 years ago. We calling this one shallow door. Okay, and we have looks like a small A1 and this large drika and this is small A1 over here and this is one open to the sahn of the mosque or the open part of the mosque. Same design here, it give you indicate like a complex of, not complex, like a madrasa of Sultan Hassan. This is the same one, okay? This is the up hostel for the students and this is for learning the 4 sect of Mamluk, as I said, the 4 sect of Sunnah, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanifa, Al-Imam Malik. This is the 4 corner and the 4 school, and this is like a hostel for the students. And they divided for all Iwan, 4 Iwan. The main Iwan for Hanifa, sect, and the Shafi'i, and the Maliki, and the Abi Hanbal. So the other 3 sect, it is a small one, small follower. The more famous in Egypt as the followers of Imam Hanifa. So this is the main followers of the sect of Shia here in sect of Sunnah in Egypt. So they have the large Iwan. So the big Iwan how decorated, and you see this one reporter. We're calling this one reporter desk. Okay, this is the assistant of the Imam. The main Imam in the pulpit over there.
Up there.
At that time, there is no echo, there is no mic. So we have around 1,000 congregational prayer like Jum'ah, okay, like Friday congregational prayer. So when the main Imam is standing up in the platform and they started to talk about Islam, all the 1,000 of congregational cannot hear him 100%. So the reporter's desk, the assistant of the Imam, he sit over here, repeat what is the main
What
Imam
he
is saying until the rest of the prayer can hear him. And this is fontaine, pollution fontaine.
the evolution
okay,
also.
for purification before praying to start the salah in different time during the day, like 5 times per day. And you can see a straight from Kufa lines up over there.
For the
is
Quran.
verses of Quran directed all the mosque. Okay.
You know what I see from the previous one and this one is like previous one is little older, right? And
Yes.
this one was
I told
built
you
before.
it was
Yeah.
the first design
So
of
see,
this kind of complex.
yeah.
This more modern.
This is more
Modern.
Modern.
Yes.
They improved too much.
Yes. نعم؟ لا 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 هنا خلاص. So when the lady is coming, she made like this one. That's mean the one he's knocking the door, ladies. So the ladies is gonna to open for her. But when he use this one, that mean the one he's knocking the door, he's a man.
Man.
So a man is gonna to open for him.
Oh.
Okay. الله يفتح عليك. اسمك ايه؟ رمضان. ما شاء الله. الست في الحرام ده الراجل كان بيخش ايه؟
الست كانت تطلع على الحرام لك على فوق الباب ده. الراجل كان يجي هنا ويقف في الدايره دي ويتكلم قاضي القضاء ويبقى قاعد هنا. وجه لوجه. الراجل هنا يقول له مظلمته ايه؟ الست تقول مظلمتها مش شايفاها وقاضي القضاء قاعد يسمعها.
الشباك اللي هو ده.
كده. الشباك القضاء يسمعها مش شايفاها. بمناسبة المحاجة المصرية كان اسمه الشيخ محمد الخراشي اللي قعدت الست تقول انجدني يا خراشي وهنا فاكر كلمة يا خراشي ودي القبة الثلاثة
سيزا والسيديانس how it likes.
الإضاءة دي
ايوه.
بتنزل على الطريق أحمر وأخضر وأحمر
ايوه بتعمل.
دي مصممة عشان إضاءة
This one is for?
This is the stone. Tomb. He put it under this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is gravestone.
Now this design is different.
It's
No more wood.
different design, modern one. Okay, and you see the design of the ceiling. Amazing. Amazing masterpiece. احلى من بتاع المنصور اسمه ايه ده المنصور على وول.
على فكرة ده هو مؤسس دولة المماليك
ايوه ايوه.
على فكرة أنا مشرف أمن واخد ليسانس آداب قسم آثار إسلامي أول الدفعة 2012 جامعة عين شمس. وأحمد عبد العزيز نادر عبد العزيز.
And this is for? This.
والله دكتور أنت اديت 18 من 20 كل أنا لا إزاي أنا أكتر
كيف لاقي
بس انا درجه اولى موظف وزاره الاثار في تساوي كمفتش اثار قانون الخدمه وترجع درجه ثالثه قصه.
What is this small room for?
It's for copying the tools that using for daily life here inside for the imam for the shia is keeping everything inside. Okay. So it was the seat of the judge. The judge was sitting here, and if anyone has a complaint, he was coming from that door. If he is a man, he's coming direct and stand in front of the judgment over here to complain here his problems. Okay, but he wins the one he has a problem. She is a lady. She come from the second door and go up and talk from up, and the judge listen to her without seeing her. Okay. See all these different rooms inside.
So this is a fountain.
This is stem room.
Ah, it's tea.
Then here he was sitting in a hot water. Okay. The rich man has a special room for him. Okay.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So these are for the rich people. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Common bathroom, right? So,
It's amazing.
yeah. It's a full of this.
So before you go out, you take a rest in this room. Okay? Take rest in this room before go out. Okay, this is a cold one.
Yeah.
Okay?
So still there is a like AC, huh?
Yeah.
That's it. Cold fill, huh? Just over there.
خمسة ونص كمان ساعتين الساعة 9 الساعة 7 الساعة 6
All day.
قالت لي ايه ده هو كل الناس ومش عارف ايه هو انا كل ما اكلم حد يقول لي مع احمد واحنا ما نشتغلش طبعا هنسقط مع بعض طبعا في الكويت في الشركه واحده انا مالي
الساعة 8 لازم تكون انت معايا انا كويس اصل كان في ناس مغطية عليكم الاول واخد بالك وعاملين ان هم يعني الفراوده والجن ابن العفريت والكلام ده كله فلما ظهرت لهم قلت لهم ده الراجل ده لا كذا 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 والراجل ده كذا كذا انت ومحمد طبعا ما شاء الله عليكم يعني مستوى تاني في الاخلاق والتعامل
About it,
دارس هي خفه دم يعني